Right, for this video I'm going to do a quick sort of head-to-head, if you like, between the Steyr Hunting 5 Auto and the Daystate Red Wolf. Excuse my voice, I've got a really bad cold. And which one of these two rifles do I think makes the best hunting rifle? And please bear that in mind, because I'm just talking about the best hunting rifle, and I'm talking about 12 foot-pounds. I'm not talking about the best bench rest rifle, the best target rifle. I'm talking about the best hunting rifle in my opinion, and obviously there will be an awful lot of people who will argue that I am wrong, and everyone differs and everyone likes different things in a rifle. So let's get straight off. First off, shot count. Shot count, Red Wolf, and its electronic valving, also its large buddy bottle, does produce quite a few more shots than the more traditionally regulated Steyr with its cylinder. This is 177, this is 2.2, so it's difficult to compare the number of shots really accurately, but there is a significant more, you do get a significant more number of shots out the Red Wolf. So the Red Wolf has more shots. Now, in reality, I think air gunners in general seem to have become obsessed with the number of shots that you can get out of the rifle, and it's understandable because these days most new designs, new products are driven by the American market, which is vast compared to the UK market. Now over there, if you're shooting a 100 foot-pound or a 70 foot-pound air rifle in .303 caliber, then obviously you want something that's got the ability to carry a lot of air and to be very frugal with it, because otherwise you're only going to get one or two shots. Which is why there's been this sort of surge in regulated actions with huge buddy bottles on board, even though they look bloody ugly. It's just because in America they need that. In the UK, you'd probably have to sit there and say to yourself, how many times do you actually go out, apart from when you're setting up your sight and doing drop tests, you know, shooting at targets at 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, so you know how your pellet performs in distance. But other than that, how many times do you actually go out and fire more than 50 pellets? In fact, how many times do you actually go out and fire more than 25 pellets in reality, in the hunting field? Probably not very often, really. So does a shot count of 500 really make a huge difference in the UK? Almost certainly not. It's a feature purely geared up for the Yanks and for other markets where you can have really high powered air rifles in really large calibers. 2.2, 177, by and large it's an immaterial thing to have. But anyway, so the Red Wolf wins that. Trigger, again, electronic trigger on the Red Wolf, beyond reproach. Best trigger I've ever used. It's incredible. So adjustable, so light. The thing's incredible. Trigger on the Steyr, again, matched grade trigger, again, incredible. A lovely, lovely hunting trigger. Super predictable, very light. Really, really comfy, multi-adjustable in all positions. It's brilliant. It's one of the nicest mechanical triggers I've ever used. It's a really good thing. So between the two, don't know, I suppose the Daystate edges it a bit on the electronic action, but to be honest, the Steyr trigger's phenomenal. You know, there's no room for complaint. It's like comparing perfection with utter perfection. There's not a lot in it. Loading method. This on the Red Wolf, the electronics, all it really does is index the actual pellet and the magazine. It doesn't do any cocking at all. It's really easy. gentle action. Steyr, hunting 5, obviously only do it once and then it fires 5 shots, but even on the manual one, to cock it, it's just that's it. And you can do it from the on-aim position as well, even with the manual ones. I actually prefer the biathlon style cocking method because you can do it with your hand in place, in situ, and it is literally just one finger and it's cocked. Whereas this, you have to actually let go and pull it back. It's easy, but it's not as good or as slick as the biathlon style. In fact, I can't understand why more rifles don't have the biathlon. Well, I can. The reason I think is because it's not a particularly pretty mechanism. I mean, if you look at that, it's integrated, it looks neat, looks really tidy. Look at that, it does look a little bit unsightly. You know, you've got this bolt sticking out the side. It looks a bit unsightly. But if you're purely interested in getting out there and hunting, it doesn't matter what it looks like. This is a really good system. You know, you can shoot it in the hand position, bump, and that's why it's a biathlon style cocking lever, because when they're doing the shooting, the competition shooting, they don't care what it looks like. They want something that will index and load really quick without moving too far off the aim. And that's where that came about, Olympic biathlon and biathlon competitions. So that is a good method of loading your rifle if you're not overly bothered about the aesthetics of it. If you are bothered about the aesthetics, this is fantastic because again, no effort at all, much neater than a bolt, and it looks really tidy. But for practicality out in the hunting field, this gets it, I'm afraid. This wins. Now a contentious one. Stock. Now this Manelli stock on the Red Wolf is a lovely thing. It's really nice. Adjustable cheek piece. It did have an adjustable butt pad, but I've taken it off because I wanted a shorter length pull on this particular rifle. Whereas if you look, the Steyr is a much more straightforward affair. It's got an adjustable butt pad, thumbhole stock, no raised cheek piece. In fact, not much of a cheek piece at all really. It's sort of integrated into the stock because it runs out virtually flat from the sight line. Nice and long, finishes a bit of a schnabel tip, and it's in a sort of matte walnut finish. Stippling on the pistol grip, which gives you a really good grip, and some stippling here, which gives you a good grip as well, and the actual Steyr bit as well, if you that sunk in and provides a bit of grip as well. On the Red Wolf, it's quite smooth on the front, there's nothing at all really, and there's some really nice stippling on the pistol grip. These nice little features here. This has got a sort of semi-shiny finish to it. It's not gloss out and out, but it is shinier than the matte finish on the Steyr. Consequently, this shows up a bit more in the hunting field. I don't know, not too much more, but it does show up. I think this stock has had some, because it's electronic and because the battery's stored in the pistol grip, I think it's been a bit of a compromise situation between getting the pistol grip set up and also making it so you can have a battery shoved inside of it, because it's quite, I don't know, it's quite fat. I mean, I've not got massive hands, but it's quite fat, and it's all right, but it shoots well in a thumb up position because there's a groove for doing a thumb up position to shoot. I don't know whether you can see that too clearly. There you go, you see. So, you know, I think there's been a bit of a compromise in the pistol grip area to fit the battery in. And it also, it runs over here a bit because it's got a buddy bottle, which makes it hard, I suppose, for the designers to make a really attractive, smart looking stock. Now, disregarding the aesthetics of them both, for actually coming up to the aim, you know, if you strip the sights off and then use it as and sort of pretended it was a shotgun, so you're walking along with it, and which one comes up quicker easier and smoother into the shoulder and onto the aim, the Steyr wins it. Definitely for me. Whoever made this gun has had a considerable amount of experience, I think, with full bore guns. And I would think that they've had a lot of experience with full bore guns that are used for driven game, like they use in the continent. So like wild boar drives and stuff like that, because it comes up like a shotgun. For a rifle, it really does. It's so fast into the shoulder and so easy to bring up to the aim. The balance is sublime. And it's so fast to acquire a target with it. So I think whoever designed this has spent a lot of time shooting driven game. And he's used that experience to make a rifle that comes into the shoulder very, very quickly. Yes, it's not as adjustable, but I don't think it needs to be. I think this stock and this gun comes up to the shoulder beautifully. I mean, obviously everyone's different, so some may argue, but I think it really does. And it's just the things on it. The pistol grip's lovely. These grooves here fit perfectly. The way the pistol grip fits. It's a really, really simple looking, but very good bit of design work. All credit to whoever did that. This one, on the other hand, I think's had some compromises to get the battery in here. So obviously the angle of rake and the thickness of it and everything else has been dictated to a certain extent by the battery. And this is more of a, I don't know how to describe it really, more of a considered aiming rifle. It doesn't flick up to the shoulder quite as smoothly or quickly as the Steyr. In fact, it doesn't flick up into the shoulder anywhere near as quickly and smoothly as the Steyr. But once you get it there, and you get your thumb settled in behind here and whatnot, and get your hand nicely set up in this little groove that it's got, it holds really well. And from all the different positions as well, kneeling, sitting and standing. But it certainly doesn't swing into the shoulder as easily as the Steyr. This is more like a shotgun or a driven game gun. This is more like a sort of target rifle where you have to get yourself positioned, get the gun rightly positioned to yourself. It takes a bit more time to get comfy with it. Once you are comfy with it, it's really good because it's got all these different adjustable bits and pieces, so you can get it to fit you like a glove. But it doesn't come up to the shoulder as easily as the Steyr. So the Steyr wins that one. Accuracy, not a lot in it. They're both supremely accurate. In all fairness, most pre-charged pneumatic air rifles these days are well and truly capable of out-shooting the person that's doing the shooting. Both of these rifles are devastatingly accurate. Possibly somewhat easier in the Daystate because it's got such a dead, motionless action, because it's all electronic. It's got a really quick firing cycle. But in all fairness to the Steyr, again, superbly accurate. Really, if you're not doing well with it, then it's not the gun, it's you. So not a lot in it there. Noise-wise, surprisingly enough, I thought that this would win it by miles, because my Renegade that I had with the shrouded barrel was in 2.2 and was a very quiet rifle, even without a silencer. And with a silencer, it was really quiet. For some reason, the Red Wolf is not as silent as the Daystate, as the Renegade. When you think they're almost the same sort of action, I'm not sure what's going on. Whether it's this carbon fibre shroud they've put on, I don't know. But it's not as quiet as the Renegade was for some reason. I mean, it's not noisy, but it's not a particularly quiet gun without a silencer on it. Steyr without the silencer is really noisy. It gives a proper crack off because there's no shrouding at all in the barrel. But bizarrely enough, with a silencer, it becomes as quiet, if not a little bit quieter, than the Daystate with a shroud and a silencer, which is bizarre. But there you go. So there you go, my thoughts on these two rifles. And I suppose the final question is, which one do I use the most? And the answer is straightforward and simple. The Steyr. Even ignoring, as I've talked about before, the rather annoying shut-off thing that the Daystate has, which I've now I leave it like that when I'm stalking. I leave the bow open, and then when I'm on the on whatever it is I've seen to shoot, it's that, and just flicks the safety to fire. Whereas with the Steyr, whenever you see what you're shooting, just flick the safety catch off. But even ignoring that, which is annoying, but which can be overcome, and you do learn to live with, I suppose. If it came to my ferrets being desperately hungry, and I needed to go and get out there and shoot a rabbit, and I didn't want to miss any opportunities at all, then the Steyr would be the rifle I would take. It comes into the shoulder much quicker. It's far quicker to get onto the aim. Even disregarding the semi-auto capacity of it, this loading mechanism is super swift, super easy. Yes, you've only got 5 shots in the magazine, as opposed to 10 in the Daystate. But in all fairness, if you don't bring it down with 2 shots, then you're doing something really wrong. And perhaps maybe shouldn't be shooting at live game with an air rifle. But that's a different thing altogether. You know, you should really be aiming to bring down stuff with the 1 shot, therefore headshots only. Both of these well capable of taking out stuff with headshots, but I have to admit this comes onto the aim so much quicker that if you're walking down a hedge, a rabbit pops out, but he's a little bit aware when he's at 30 yards or 40 or 35 yards, this slots into the shoulder so quick. It enables you to get on target really fast, get the shot off. And you know as well that once you've loaded it, it's going to shoot. This, you always have to remember that the damn thing might cut off. If it was a case of sat in a hide and waiting for prey to come out, then it'd be more difficult to choose really. But certainly for walked up stalking or walking around the farm or around the paddocks, Steyr wins it, and wins it by a fair margin as well, I think, to be fair. You know, I mean, neither of them are poor. You know, you wouldn't turn down either as a top notch. I mean, I happily take this out stalking, and I have loads of times. You know, I've done a hell of a lot of shooting with it since I've got it, and I've shot a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, if push came to the shove and I had to go out and know that I really desperately needed to get a rabbit, then I'd probably take this, because there's less chance of things going awry with this than there are with the Red Wolf. So there you go. Obviously, everyone's different, you know, everyone's different. There's going to be loads of fans of the Red Wolf going to say, well, a lot of rubbish. It's electronic, the regulated action is brilliant, it's mega accurate, and all of these things are true, it is. But there are those slight concessions that have been made to please, and not necessarily a British market, namely the massive shot count thing, which is unnecessary, the battery being stuck in here, the automatic cut-off to save battery power. If you're an American hunter and you were shooting at something like a 303 caliber joggy at 70 odd foot-pounds, then the Steyr's out the equation totally, and it's Red Wolf all day long. But I think for UK, for 12 foot-pounds, and from my own personal experience and opinion, the Steyr edges it. I'd happily take either out and have, and don't get me wrong, I love this gun now, I'm really getting into it. It's you know, really starting to get into this rifle now. It's a lovely, lovely rifle, it is. But this, when it comes to hunting, walk round stalking, this nips it, I'm afraid. Thanks for watching, and I hope you watch my other videos. And of course, there is a joker in the pack with my air rifle collection, because I've also got an Air Arms Pro Sport, which is, as everyone knows, a Springer. And at some stage or other, I will be doing a quick take on that Springer compared to these pre-charged pneumatic rifles. But I need to get more hunting time in with the Pro Sport before I do that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you follow me. Thank you very much.